Hi, I'm Josette. Welcome to my channel. If you are trying to leave the 9 to 5 mindset and eventually leave your 9 to 5, I have 11 brutal truths about work to share with you. So, number one, your job will replace you in a week if something happens to you. So, I quit my job. Well, not my current job, but the job before that. I quit. I gave my 2 weeks notice, and within a week, they already had someone else in my position. And it didn't hurt my feelings, but that's how easily you can be replaced. If you watched my first video, I spoke about a guy that I knew from that job that recently passed away. Well, guess what? He's going to be replaced too. So you're just a number. They don't care about you. And I know sometimes we want to think that they really do care about us, right? But they really don't. I think when you first get your first real kind of corporate job or just job in general, you feel like everyone cares about you, but that's just not the truth. It's a company, they have to do what they have to do, and they will move on without you. So the second truth is that working hard doesn't always mean that you'll move up. I've seen this with so many people. They'll say, I work hard every day. I don't know why I can't have this position, or I can't be the manager, or I can't do whatever it may be. And a lot of times people's hard work really does go unnoticed. It's all about who you know, not really how hard that you work. If you know the right people, it's easy to move up, but if you don't, then you'll still be standing there doing the same thing day in and day out. So it's about making a really good impression, networking, and I'm the type of person that hates networking. I don't want to be with a group of people, talking to them, telling them about myself and rubbing elbows and doing all of that. So it is hard to move up sometimes if you don't have that type of personality. But yeah, working harder does not always equal moving up and climbing up that ladder. So you might not like this one, and it's okay, but your coworkers are not your friends. And I know someone out there is going to say, I met my best friend at work, because we spend the majority of our time at work. And I get it. You may have like a best friend there, but 99% of the people there are not your friends. They will throw you under the bus so quick. Like right now, my boss does everything to annoy me, okay? So I personally have issues with anxiety and depression, and it does sometimes affect me, right? It affects how I feel about going to work, my performance, and things like that. And I really felt like he would understand and I could tell him how I felt, but no, not really. He documents every single thing that I say. And it's like, okay, on March 18th, I don't even know what day that was or anything, Josette said that she wasn't feeling well and she couldn't work today. Like just stupid things like that. And so they are not your friends. They're going to document everything you say, and then they're going to send it off to HR and say that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, even though they're supposed to make it an inclusive like work environment that you feel like people should understand these things, that we all go through these things. Like it's May, it's Mental Health Month. Nobody cares. So your coworkers aren't your friends. They will talk about you. They will talk about you to other people. And they will definitely tell on you and get you in trouble. So keep your business to yourself. Keep your opinions to yourself. Don't talk about other people. And keep you to you. And just know that they're not to be trusted. Number 4 is raises rarely match inflation or your real worth. So I received a raise this year, and it was about $2,000 more for my salary than what I was making. At the moment, I was like, yay, I got $2,000 more of an increase. It made no difference whatsoever. At the end of the day, when you take out all the taxes, you take out my health care and anything else they want to charge me for, it left me with making $62 more on my paycheck every 2 weeks, like big deal, right? Like when you do your taxes and you see like what you're supposed to make per year, but what you actually made, you're like, oh, okay, I really didn't make any money. So not going to help with inflation right now. Everything is super expensive and your paycheck just will not match it. There's nothing that we can do about it other than to keep trying to find another job like I am that I can make more money at, or finding other ways like creating a YouTube channel or selling products or whatever you want to do to try to balance that out. But at the end, it doesn't match inflation, and you're probably worth way more than what they're paying you right now. All right, number 5, you give your best energy to your job and then you go home drained. Like I said earlier, you spend all your time at work, 8 hours. Some of you guys spend 10 hours, 11, 12 hours. You do these really long shifts, right? And you go home and you're absolutely drained. I know that when I get off work, I take like a 2-hour nap every day after work. And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm going to go make a YouTube video, or I'm going to go do this or that. It never happens. I fall asleep for 2 hours. I wake up around 7 o'clock at night, and that's what it is. You give your best energy to them and you sometimes get nothing in return. And to be honest, I don't even give all my energy to them because I only have so much that I can give in an 8-hour time span. Normally, I'm only productive for a certain amount of time before it's just over with for me. Like, I zone out during meetings. It happens all the time, or I'm like, when that lunchtime, nap time feeling comes across you, I can't. It's like I gave you my all. If you didn't catch me between these like 4 hours, and that's all that I can give. And I think that I'm a stellar employee, but I can only give what I can give. And even though I don't do anything physical, the mental drain is real. Like, I don't want to talk to anyone else for the rest of the day because all I do is talk to people for 40 hours a week, and it gets exhausting. All right, number 6 is your work boundaries will be tested constantly. I find that when I help people at work, instead of thinking that they will in turn help themselves, they end up needing more help. And then they're always needing more and more and more. Also, my boundaries are crossed when my coworkers want to text me after I get off work. I told them no one pays me to talk to you guys after 5 o'clock. You need to stop being so obsessed with work. And well, I don't think I said that part, but it's what I wanted to say. They need to stop being so obsessed with work. When it's time to get off, it's time to get off. But they don't feel the way I do. When it's time to get off, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you about it. I do not want work living rent-free in my head 24/7. That's what this is about, not being in the 9-to-5 mindset. So I will shut it off. But your boundaries will be tested. People will push you to do things that aren't right. There's so many things that people will test you with, and you just have to say, is this something that I feel comfortable with doing, and be able to speak up on that. And if you do feel like they're being tested, then if you have a good boss, if you have someone you can trust, then maybe ask them to speak on your behalf. Otherwise, you're just going to have to speak for yourself and say, yeah, no, it's not happening. So, number 7, most jobs aren't designed to make you happy, just productive. I, for the longest time, looked for jobs that I thought would make me happy. I was like, oh, this will make me so happy if I do this job, and it's going to be so much fun, and they are, I'm going to learn so much, and the people that I help will in turn learn a lot too, and we're just all going to be one big happy family. If your job says that you guys are family, also they are lying to you. There is not one of them are your family members. Like, they're not your families, and you have to ask yourself, would your family treat you the way that they do? No. But well, it depends on what type of family you have, but hopefully your family treats you better than they do. But back to what we were saying, most jobs aren't designed to make you happy. They want you to come in, they want you to do the work, and that's it. They could care less if you're happy or not. So you have to find your own happiness, and I am trying to find my own happiness outside of work because I can't find it when I'm working. I will take that back. There are some times where there is something that makes me happy, that brings me a little bit of joy, that I feel fulfilled, but 90% of the time that's just not true. So you're there to work, sometimes like a dog, and that is it. So don't get it confused. They are not worried about your happiness. All right, number 8, climbing the ladder does not guarantee freedom. It really just does not. In my first video, I told you guys that I do not plan on climbing any more ladders at all unless I make the ladder. But when it concerns working a job, I'm not doing it. It doesn't guarantee freedom because let's say you go from being just a normal associate and then you get a manager position. Well, what happens is they put you on salary, right, instead of being hourly. And then all of a sudden, because your salary, you're expected to work extra hours than what you would have if you were hourly. When you were hourly, you got overtime if you had to stay over. When you're salary, they don't care. They can work you like a horse or like a dog or however you want to put it, but they expect you to stay for the company, for the role, for the job. And you'll never be free of that. You have to worry about what's going on all the time. When you're at work, when you're not at work, you can be at home and then they will call you up and say, hey, can you get on the computer real quick and do this? Or can you do that? Or can you jump on this call when it's your day off? Or can you go visit this place when it's your day off? It does not guarantee freedom. Actually, it's more of a jail, to be honest with you, more of a confinement. You are confined to work, you lose your freedom, and it's just not cool. So think about that when you're climbing ladders. Is that what you want? You want to give away your freedom? If so, keep going. If not, then keep that in the back of your mind. So number 9, you can outgrow a job before you can afford to leave. I find this happening to myself all the time. I learn all the things I need to know. I do the thing that I'm supposed to do, and then I find myself bored. I find myself no longer learning. I find myself stuck in this place, realizing that there is nowhere else to go. In my current position, there is no up. There's a manager position, but they don't have that many managers. And like I said, I'm not climbing any ladders, so I don't want to think about that. But it would take years for me to make the maximum amount that this position could make. Just outgrowing something or your job, it is okay. You outgrow it. It's not for you. You need to move on. I've had a coworker say, this job is just boring. And she had been doing this job for a really, really long time. And that's okay. You outgrow it. You just need to move on. But sometimes you have to stay in that job because you just can't afford to leave. There's not another job position available for you. You have to put in other applications, or it is what's putting food on your table right now. So you have to sit there and just kind of deal with it, right? Just go through the motions every day of something that you've just outgrown and really just do not like anymore. But it is what it is. You just can't afford to leave right then. But if you keep persisting, eventually you'll find something that you can do that's completely different, whether it's a new job or you can move up within the same company, or you just move on completely, right? All right, number 10, office politics matter more than your actual work. It's the truth. They just do. What goes on in the office and how the top people want things to go and conversations that are being had, they don't really care about what you're doing, okay? It's all above your head. So stop thinking that what you're doing actually matters. I sound so harsh and critical, but I mean, sometimes it's just that way. Like they'll tell you, oh, well, the work that you do out in the field means so much, but does it? Does it really? I don't know about all that. So just keep that in mind, okay? Office politics matter more than your actual work. So number 11, The real dream job is the one that you design for yourself. The truth is that you probably won't find a job with one of these big companies, small companies, anywhere that you're going to be totally happy with. None of us are, and if you are, then you are very lucky. But I have a hard time believing that if you clicked on this video that you're extremely happy at work right now. So I think that being your own boss or designing the way that you want your dream job to look like is the way to go. You have to figure out what that looks like. So maybe take some time, sit down and journal figure out what that will look like for you. But you're going to have to design it yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. No one's going to hand you the perfect job and say, here, go do it. We know that you'll be happy and you'll be productive and we're going to pay you a lot. Yeah, right. It's just not going to happen. So all I have to say is go design that perfect job for yourself. I'm trying to do that every day, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you got a lot from it, and just remember, sometimes work isn't what it's cracked up to be. it's not, but it's okay. We're in this together, and we will figure it out together. Oh, and one last thing. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. That would help me out so much, and I would love it if you leave me a comment. Let me know some other truths that maybe you found out about work. That would be a lot of fun in the comments. So I'll answer you back, I promise.